Hello YouTube, this is Wendy, and I am going to do a bubblegum bead tutorial today about the bubblegum bead necklaces that we make for the little girls. I've got 2 shows coming up here in the next few weeks, so I've done a lot of these, and if you watched the resin tutorial that I did, this is one of the mermaid tails that we poured in the resin tutorial. And I've coated the entire thing with clear nail polish to make it shiny. And I have glued a bail to it with E6000, just a glue-on bail. So we're going to bead this into a necklace today. You don't have to have a mermaid tail for the pendant. You can use anything. Actually, here are a couple that I've done. Here's a jack-o'-lantern. I did not pour that jack-o'-lantern. I bought it. We beaded that one up. I've actually had someone commission me to make her a jack-o'-lantern or a pumpkin and a Christmas tree for her little girl. And here's the Christmas tree. This is actually a bead. If you can see, there is a hole in the bottom, and it's made to be strung on wire or put on a big head pin, but I just glued a bell to it to make a pendant. So this is the Christmas tree. Here's a unicorn that I bought, unicorn pendant. So you don't have to have a mermaid tail. You can use anything. But I like the mermaid tails. I think they're really fun to pour in resin. You can make them so pretty and sparkly, and this is another one that I poured, on the tutorial using my beads. Here's another one that I poured on the tutorial. So if you watch that tutorial, you'll see how we did these mermaid tails, but they're a lot of fun. But anyway, this is the last one that I have to do. I've done several. Well, I've got some more unicorns, but I'm not going to do those right now. But I'm going to bead up this last mermaid tail. And the things you're going to need, you'll need obviously a pendant or whatever you're going to use. Lots of bubblegum beads. Bubblegum beads are these big chunky beads. The little girls love them. Big girls love them too. And you can use a variety of sizes. I use like 4 or 6 actually, 20 millimeters. For each necklace, and then a bunch of spacers. I've got some bicones here. These are like 14 millimeter. I think these are 16, so 16 millimeter, and then I've got some spacers in here too. So usually when I make these bubblegum bead necklaces, I create them symmetrical. So the beads on each side match up, so it's exactly the same. But every now and then, I end up with several beads, like all of these right here, that do not have a mate. And I don't know how that happens, because when I order these beads, I order them in pairs of, they'll say, do you want unmatched pairs or matched pairs? And I always say matched pairs, but somehow, like, these have no mates. So I don't know if I've lost them or I don't know what happened to them. But anyway, I'm going to bead this one up today just random. And I don't really like to do that because, I don't know, I just like the way they turn out better when they're symmetrical. But I need to use those beads, so that's what we're going to do. You'll need a pair of chain nose pliers, some crimp beads, 4 little crimp beads. I use 2 per side. You don't have to do that. I just like to do it for added security. And some wire guardians. Whoops. That's a wire guardian. They just keep your wire from getting frayed. Because kids wear these, I like to do the added security measures. And then you'll need some beading wire. I get this at Walmart. It's very, 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 very secure. It's 7 strands of wire woven together and then coated in like a nylon coating. So this is nearly impossible to break. You would have to cut it, and so anyway, it's also called tiger tail, I think. But anyway, okay, so let's get started. So I take my mermaid tail, and because I'm doing this random, I'm just going to start loading the beads up, kind of how I like it. I always start with the small ones around the bottom, so I'll do a green. We'll put the mermaid tail on. Okay. And for the other side, I'll go ahead and do a white one. Start with a couple small. You want it to, you don't want the big, huge beads right down there at the bottom. I mean, you want something to kind of make it lay better or right. I don't even know how to describe that. But anyway, let's do an orange one. This is a wooden bead, and sometimes this tire tail has a hard time just going straight through the middle. Okay. On the other side, we'll just do a green bicone. Okay, now see, this is what you're getting. And I, like I said, do not like the randomness nearly as much as I like the symmetrical, but I really want to use up those beads. So, I don't know. That's what we're going to do, I guess. So we'll do a bigger green. On this side, do an orange. And one thing I do try to do when I'm doing this, if you can see how it's level, even though these beads are different sizes, I try to keep the, it level. Like if I do a real small bead here and a big bead here, then the next time I'll have to do a bigger bead over here, just to try to keep it so that it's going to be at a level thing on both sides for when you put your clasp on and stuff. Okay, so let's go ahead and do a bicone over here. Now, let's put some big beads on. Well, actually, let me do one more small one over here. And I'll go ahead and do a green one. Okay, so this is what we've got right now. As you can see, it's pretty level. And I'm going to put two big beads on together. So I think I will do let's see, we've got orange. Let's go ahead and do a striped orange on this side. Whoops. And on the other side, I'll do this, this funny looking green. It almost looks like it's furry. Okay, so this is what we've got. And you just keep on beading. Just, you know, hold it up every now and then, see if you like how it looks. I really, like I said, don't like the randomness, but I think that's my OCD kicking in a little. I'm very, very OCD, and I like it all to match, but can't always be that way. So let's go ahead and do a green globulin. I like those. Those are fun. I need green on the other side. I'll just do a plain green here. Oh no. Okay. It's good if you have one of those little bead buddy springy things you can put on the end, but I don't, so I just... Okay, and this is how it's looking. It's kind of cute. Even though it's random, and I don't like that, it's still kind of cute. So I think I'll do this orange one over here. Another couple of big ones. Actually... let's not do that. Let's do the orange one over here. And the green one over here. Okay. Whoops. Okay, so now we have, get those out of the way a little bit. Now we have this. And it is cute. I mean, it really is. Even though it's not matching on both sides, it turns out really cute. We'll do a bicone over there. Go ahead and do a green one over here. Then I think we need some white on this side. We'll do a little white bead. You know what? Actually, I think I had in my beads, I have a white stripe that doesn't have a mate. There it is. Yeah, I think I'll use it on this necklace. This one doesn't have a mate either. So yeah, I think I'll actually use it right here. Let's put that one on there, and I'll do just a tiny white one on this other side. And we'll hold that up and see how it looks. It's looking pretty good. Okay, now we could use one of these orange ones over here. And another big one on the other side. I'll go ahead and do this green. I like to keep the big ones together. I don't know why, but if If there's a big one on one side, I like there to be a big one on the other side. I don't know why. Okay. This little disco ball one's cute. I'll put it over here. And then on this side, I'll do this one, I guess. Let me see how that looks when I hold it up. Okay, that's working out really well. Just need a few more, and it'll be finished. So over here, let's do this orange and white striped one. I want to make sure I use up all the ones that don't have mates. And then I'll do this guy over here. And it's actually ending up very even, which is nice. Okay. Now, we've pretty much got the length, almost all the length that we need for this. Remember, these are for little girls. I mean, I've had adults buy them and they really like them, but I don't make them too long because of that. So I'm just going to add on a couple of end beads here. So I'll do a green and a white. And since it was even, I'm just going to do 2 on this side, and I'll do a white and a green on the other side. Okay, and what I do with these, I take my tools and some extra chain with me to the craft shows, and that way if an adult does want to buy one, I can add some chain to it and lengthen it for them. Okay, so this is what we have. It's really turned out cute. So now, this is what we're going to do. We're going to take one side of the tiger tail, and I know you can't hardly see it because it's like so thin, and I'm going to put 2 crimp beads on. Okay, there's 1. This is the tedious, tiny work right here. 2 crimp beads on. Let them fall down. Whoops, there they are. Then I'm going to use the wire guard, and with the wire guard you've got a little channel on both sides. So we're going to take the tiger tail up through one channel, down through the other channel, whoops, okay, so this is what you've got. You've got your little wire guardian. It's really hard to show this on camera, but he's on there. You want him pushed all the way up to the top of the, but that'll happen when we crimp it. Okay, so we've got that on there. So now you're going to go ahead and take the tiger tail back through the 2 crimp beads and go through 2 or 3 of your other beads. So we'll pull this up, and this is what we've got. We've got our wire guard, 2 small crimp beads, and 2 beads, and the tiger tail goes through it. So then I'm going to take my pliers, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to crimp the first bead, and the second bead is kind of going down in there. Going down in the, okay, there we go. Get it up next to the top one, and crimp it too, okay? And I just like to push really hard, make sure they're very secure. I had a necklace come apart. It's the only one I've ever had do that, but I was moving it, like I was changing the display around and kind of unbuckled it and was trying to buckle it around another part of the display that was a little difficult to get it through, and it came out. And so I've started using 2 crimp beads because I just really want them to be very secure. Okay. Now, tighten everything up. Pull on this piece of your tiger tail and it'll tighten it all up. And you're going to do the same thing on the other side. You're going to put your crimp bead on. These are so tiny, and I know that my hand is in the way, but there's really no other way to do it. Put your wire guard through one channel, then go back through the other channel and back through the 2 crimp beads. Okay. pull it down. Okay, put this through a couple of these top beads, 2 or 3 of them. Whoops. And this is like the hardest part of the whole thing. Put these through a couple beads. Okay. Pull it tight. Oh my goodness, it came out again. I'm so sorry. Putting you through this, but having issues today with this one. I made several of them this morning, and I have fought a little bit with the tiger tail and the crimp beads this morning. I need better glasses. Okay, so once you get it through there, you're going to grab one side of this and pull it, and just pull it up tight, so that you don't want your beads so tight that there's no movement, but you do want them tight enough to where you don't have like huge gaps between them, or huge gaps in between this. Okay, then just take your pliers and crimp them, both beads. They make crimping pliers. I've never purchased them. I just like to use my chain nose pliers. I feel like they work just as good. And you can also buy covers for these little silver, it looks like a silver bead, but I don't know, I think this is fine, really. Go ahead and crimp them down really good. Okay, so that's what you've got. Whoops, that's what you've got on your end. Can you see it? Yeah. Okay, and then you're going to trim off. Left the scissors over here on the bed. You're going to trim off your leftover wire here, whatever's sticking out, and trim it close because you don't want it poking anybody, so you want it trimmed really. Okay, so here's what we have. Those out of the way, and it turned out really, really cute, I think. So then all I'm going to do, I usually put lobster clasps on these because they're just easier for, I don't know, I just think they're easy for kids. Well, I don't know if they're easy for kids to do, but they're easy for moms to do. And I always take the lobster clasp here and make sure that it works good, because sometimes they don't. And then I'm going to take a small jump ring to hook the lobster on with, and I like to use a thicker gauge if I can, and like I just put all my jump rings in here together, and it is a serious mess. Look at that. I really should not have done that, but that's the way I did it, so I've just kept it that way and never changed it, and they are a mess. Okay, so here's a small, if I can get it untangled, 4mm jump ring that we'll use on that side. On the other side, I like to use a bigger one, so we'll use that one. It looks like it's probably 10mm maybe. Okay, so we're going to attach the clasp, and I haven't done this with any of my others. I don't know why, but I hate attaching the clasp. That's like my least favorite part of making these, so I always wait and do them all at one time. So you're just going to put your jump ring through the wire guard, attach your lobster to it. Whoops. Oh my gosh, I've got to get some glasses. Seriously. I can't see anything. Okay. So put your jump ring through your wire guard. I'm having serious issues here. Okay. Attach your lobster. And close up your jump ring. Now, because this is a child's necklace, well, you always want to make sure your jump rings are closed, but I just am extra careful with the ones that I make for kids, because, you know, kids can be really rough on stuff, and you want it to hold up. You definitely don't want people buying your stuff and then it coming undone. Okay, so there's what we've got. We've got our wire guard, our jump ring, and our lobster. So then the other side, I'm just going to go ahead and open this jump ring. place it on here. Ugh, that didn't work well. It flew across the room. Okay. Alright, place it on here. These little round nose pliers too that I've got in my right hand are like flimsy. They're not the best kind, and they don't do a real good job. Okay, close that up really well, and there you go. You have got an adorable little bubblegum bead necklace for some lucky little girl in your life. So that is that's how you do those. That's how you put them together after you get your resin mermaid tail done. And little girls love them. Big girls even like them. I had one lady the other day bought one for her mom for her birthday. So, you know, they're just fun. They really are. So that's today's tutorial, and if you have any questions, just link them, put them down in the comments, and like and subscribe. And I love to hear from you guys, so comment, let me know what you think, and I'll have another tutorial coming to you very soon. Have a great weekend. Thanks.